Welcome to the Growing Athletes Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Suter. Join me on a journey to unlock potential, chase dreams, and lead authentically fulfilled lives. Together, we'll explore the powerful crossroads of sports, mindset, and personal growth. Prepare to become the next best version of you. I'm Amy Suter, and this is the Growing Athletes Podcast. I am sure there are so many of you out there feeling just like I do. You set these goals, you have all of this motivation, and you're doing the thing. And the results, they feel like they're taking forever to show up. So then, of course, you question yourself, is this really for me? Am I just wasting my time? I can't quit now. I put so much effort in. And then you wonder, well, maybe I should just quit so I don't get even further down this hole. Then you remember, the good you kicks in. Nothing worth doing is easy. So you tell yourself, I'm just in the hard right now. I can do this. And you keep going. You give yourself that motivational talk. You keep going. Maybe not as consistently as you would like to be, but you're doing it. Sure, there are pauses in your action. I know my pauses in action come when I get overwhelmed. The thoughts start, who am I to think I can do this? Then I start comparing myself to everyone else out there, doing it faster than me, better than me, more professional than me. I tell myself, I don't have the time. Blah, 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 blah. The excuses, the things, they just keep coming. Then I quickly correct myself. Well, I know I can do it. But what I can't seem to do is enough to get me there as quickly as I want to be there. It's always me pretending I know the timeline. And we all know that that's not up to us. The minute I become the person who can be, do, or have the thing, that thing, it always shows up. So I tell myself, come on, Amy, just keep becoming the next best version of you every darn day. What I have come to understand recently, even though I've heard it literally a million times, is the joy is in the journey. It's not the destination we are craving. We keep moving that destination point anyways. It's the chasing. It's the chasing that dream that's lighting us up. Our entire lives are a becoming journey. And that's what we crave. We crave the journey. We crave the growth, the challenge. And what I found is that when you stay in action, simply doing something, anything in alignment with your goals, the next door, it always opens. Meaning, the next step you are supposed to take on the way to your goal, it's right there in front of you. And 90% of the time, it's not the next step that I had planned for. You question yourself, should I go in this direction? I thought for sure I'd be going on path A, doing it in step 1, step 2, step 3. I didn't even know path D existed. If I take path D, I might get lost. It might be the wrong way. What if this isn't right? And then you get quiet and you can hear your intuition screaming at you. Just do it. Take path D. And sure enough, path D leads you to the next door, your next perfect path. Problem is, instead of staying in action and finding these perfectly placed, unperfect paths, we live in our heads, justifying all the reasons we should just quit and find something else or find another way to do the thing. We must stay in action. And even more, we must stay present and enjoy the journey. I remember, like it was yesterday, being that young girl sitting in the stands at the University of Washington softball stadium, sitting there overlooking Lake Washington. It was a beautiful sunny spring day. I was dreaming, what would it be like to play on this perfectly manicured field in those purple and gold uniforms? I remember the thought coming to me. It was very brief. Maybe I could do this. And then as quickly as the thought came, my logical, darn unconscious thinking mind shut that down and replaced that beautiful thought with thoughts like, who do you think you are? You'll never be good enough to play on this stage. Here's the thing. If the thought comes to you, it can become your reality. The thought came to you, not the person next to you, the person better than you. The thought came to you. What if it was your responsibility to make that thought your reality? What if this is how we stay on our perfect path? Now, I didn't think this way at that moment, but something captured me that day, and the goal was set. I was going to play softball at the University of Washington. And many years later, I did. I played softball at the University of Washington. Now, while at UW, my academic goal, my plan, my path A, my step 1, 2, 3 was to be a surgeon. And of course, I decided this way back in 7th grade. Doing pre-med while playing a sport at this level was challenging, but I stayed in action. I kept doing the do. I kept on my path, on my step 1, step 2, step 3, my plan A, the plan I set for myself since the 7th grade, the one that was in alignment with my goal. Then, out of nowhere, in my junior year of college, after completing a majority of my pre-med requirements, I walked out of a chemistry class and I was instantly overwhelmed with uncertainty. I knew in that moment I didn't want to be a doctor. I had no idea where this came from, but it was absolutely annoying. I remember calling my dad crying. His response was, "Well, then don't be a doctor." "What are you enjoying right now?" I quickly responded, "Psychology." He said, "Well, then go schedule a meeting with your favorite psychology professor and see what's next." Like it was no big deal. I was on my perfect path A to medical school, and now Dad was saying, "Go check out Path D." I didn't even know Path D existed. I was only taking psychology classes because they were fun. They were just, the extras. If I take Path D, I might get lost. It might be the wrong way. What if this isn't right? And then I got quiet. My intuition started screaming at me, just like it does. "Just do it, Amy. Take Path D." And down Path D I headed, pretending again that I knew exactly how I was going to get to my goal of now being a sports psychologist. Off to a doctorate program I went. I'll get my doctorate, start my own practice. Or will I instead spend 4 years in a doctorate program, get married, coach softball at the D1 and D2 level, have 3 kids, find my way into a company doing corporate culture and leadership training that I actually found through our health and wellness journey, which that was a blessing. And we found this after we were, faced with some devastating family losses. Lots of path Ds here. See, it's all a becoming journey where we continue to find our perfectly placed, unperfect paths. The path that often feels bumpy, sometimes like a dead-end road. It's lonely, it's hard, all the things. Just remember, it's always the perfect path. Stay in action. Keep becoming the next best version of yourself every darn day. Here I am today, a mindset coach, doing exactly what I was put on this earth to do. Lit up every day with gratitude that I'm living the most fulfilled life doing what I love. Who knows what's next? What I do know is I'll keep chasing my dreams and becoming until God has different plans for me. And I hope you do too. Stay in action. Stay present. Be where your feet are and enjoy the journey. It's what we have. Remember, you're always on your perfect path. I am so grateful you chose to spend your time here with me today. Thank you. To learn more about growing athletes and to get access to today's show notes, visit me at amysuter.com. Always remember, both you and your athletes have everything you need inside of you to achieve anything you set your minds to. So go out there and pursue those dreams relentlessly. And keep in perspective, it's who you become on this journey that really matters, as our dreams will always expand at the exact same rate as our personal growth. I love you all, and I will talk to you next week.